Okay, everyone, welcome to another Tuesday team training. We do this every week on Tuesday to help you understand the business model components, professional, personal development, everything that you need to get ahead and be a success in the industry as a producer or as an agency builder. Last week, we started talking about the easiest way to really understand a simple system that builds agency growth. And it's the four C's, which are contacts, communication, calendar appointments, and contracts. It's the easiest system to adopt for yourself and also the easiest system to adopt for your agency, because if somebody comes to you with a problem, then all you have to say is, where are we in the four C's? What is the problem? Fix that, whatever it is, one or more multiple C's, and then you have a free-flowing system that creates leads and converts those leads into outcomes, including revenue, income, growth, equity, bonuses, all the things that you're looking for. So it's only right off the backs of last week's 4C introduction that we actually start a 4C series. And this is going to be the best way for you guys to understand how to build your business and understand how to teach other people to build their business. The more simple we can make things, the easier it is for us to create independence of other agents and then kind of build the asset that will work for us without us having to continue to work for it. The biggest problem that businesses incur, every business problem eventually becomes a contact problem. No contacts, no conversations. No conversations, no appointments. No appointments, no clients, no clients, no revenue. It's a pretty easy equation to understand. And then when you adopt the four C's, it's easy to figure out where the problem is, identify, correct that problem, and then move on to, like I said, you have a free-flowing system. Everything that you do starts with contacts, no matter if it's on the partner side or the client side, or you're straddling both sides of the fence. Everything that you do for your business starts with contacts. So that's why we start with the contacts, because most agents focus on what? They focus on the end of the process. It's called, panic management. What does that really mean? It means that you're looking at the end outcomes and you're starting to look at, well, I haven't done any presentations. I don't have any closings. I don't have any commissions coming in. So let me fixate and concentrate on that. The problem is those things are happening at the end of the process. What you really want to concentrate on is what's happening at the beginning. Because if you concentrate on what's happening at the beginning, you master that upfront flow. Contacts are what the beginning of everything is. So today we're talking about the first C, which is contacts. It's the foundation of every single business, and definitely for a business like ours. Who are contacts? And this is extremely important to understand, because the biggest misunderstanding is that most agents think contacts are prospects. That's wrong, guys. Contacts are just people. A prospect is simply a contact that has moved further in the process. They're no longer just a contact. They've done something to take the next action step to become what we commonly call a lead. So understand what contacts are, and then understand the categories of contacts, because contacts come from everywhere. If you learn how to talk to people without pitching, selling, recruiting, this business becomes very easy, because you're just getting in front of people, value-based propositions, sorting people who can be helped, who has the resources to be helped, who wants to be helped, identifying those people, disqualifying the other people. But when you talk about the categories, you have personal contacts. Obviously, personal contacts are not only something that you look at when you start your business, it's also a walk of life, because sometimes you're getting back in front of personal contacts that maybe you didn't recall or weren't top of mind at the beginning of your business. Another way to get to personal contacts is through recruiting. You open up other people's markets. So recruiting has a compounding factor in terms of potential agency growth, but also for lead generation in the agency. So personal contacts are typical stuff: family, friends, neighbors, parents from sports, church members, former co-workers. And remember, when you're getting in front of these people, you're asking for help. You're asking for constructive criticism. You're asking for feedback. Or you're leading with mission to see if they connect with what you're trying to do, to find out if they want to learn more how they could possibly help them or help other people they know. And that's why value-based propositions are extremely important. If you get in front of somebody with education, information that you're not holding behind some secret door that costs them money, educated people start to make buying decisions. Buying decisions create higher retention, higher referrals, higher reviews, everything that you're looking for. Outside of personal, you have professional contacts. These are business owners, realtors, mortgage professionals, CPAs, attorneys, network marketers. What are you doing with professional contacts? You're getting in front of these people and seeing how we can create, do something great together, create a win-win-win, a win for them, a win for you, a win for the clients that we service. It's also about possibly multiple streams of revenue, adding another slice of revenue, monetize an existing database for them without having really to do anything. Business owners, the tax savings program, if you guys can just get in the habit of offering business owners the ability to find out how to save in taxes, you'd be surprised how many business owners will actually want to learn more, just pass that stuff off. Social contacts, we're going to talk about this, but these are Facebook connections, LinkedIn connections, Instagram followers, alignable members, community groups. Social is a whole ecosystem within itself. We're going to talk about that. Have you ever met somebody in this industry that builds their business entirely on referrals? They become very good at referrals. And there are people that do this, guys. Now, it's not the most consistent way to make a business, but if you have existing clients, existing partners, introduction, recommendations, you need to, especially while you're networking on platforms like Alignable, you need to realize and understand and create communication that creates referral contact opportunities for both sides. Now, it's not just about agreeing to refer both sides. It's about actually getting a plan of action in place that both sides understand with an expectation of what's going to happen. So we want to stop asking who might buy. Remember, that's the end of the process. You want to start asking, who do I know? Because in this business, standard of livings and retirement, tax savings, interest deductions, beating the banks at their own strategy, winning the money game, all the things that we teach and educate on are extremely important. There's a large part of the population that needs, wants, and is looking for this type of information. So start asking, who do I know? Those are the contacts. Next week, we're going to be talking about the communication flow, but you can't communicate with anybody until you have a contact. So what actually is a contact? Contact is just a person who can be communicated with. You don't really know a lot about this person other than they're in the contact stage. If you can communicate with them, they are a contact. So don't get this twisted where contacts, prospects, and leads are all, jumbled up into one basket or bunch, because they're definitely not. We have a phone number, email, Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn connection, Instagram DM, text message. These are all ways of communicating with people. The more people you can communicate with, the more contacts you can add to your CRM, gives you more cycles of communication, more opportunities for outcomes, which those outcomes can create revenue, income, and growth for you. So contacts is just a person who can be communicated with. You're not sure anything really about them at this point. There is a CRM rule, and you guys have to follow this because too many agents in this industry are losing money and then drifting and ultimately quitting because they don't have a plan of action that includes something as basic as putting stuff in a CRM. The contact is not real until it's entered into your CRM. It's not in your phone. It's not in your memory. It's not on a sticky note you're going to place somewhere and lose. It's not on a spreadsheet. It's not on your calendar. It's not in a notebook. It's in the CRM. Minimum requirements for the CRM. You need a name, phone number, email, source. What do you want to know about the person? Where did you find them? Preferred on top of that if you have notes. Why? Because you're going to talk to a lot of people in this business. If you have a conversation or a meeting with somebody and you don't put notes, I'm just talking from my personal standpoint, I'm not going to remember a lot of what we did. If I have extensive notes in there, I can pick up right where we left off and create a bridge instead of having to go back to a starting point and recalculate everything that we did from the previous meeting. Tags are going to allow you to organize that data for purposes of understanding, where you found them, who they are, what they might be interested in. Also is great for mass communication, meaning if I've got 50 or 100 people with the same tags, I can get in front of them, email them, text them as a group. Obviously, it's going out individually. Hey, we've got a webinar coming up. We've got this coming up. Would you like this guide? So it's about creating contacts and then making sure you understand how to tag them appropriately. And then a pipeline. We've been talking about this. What is a pipeline? It's nothing more than an aerial view of what's happening, because in your CRM, it's just a bunch of data. When you have the pipeline, you can see, oh, this person is in this block. My only area of concentration is moving them to the next block. That's all I got to do. At the end of the blocks, I'm creating outcomes. So your CRM is your business brain. Feed it, update it, use it. If you don't have one, get back in contact with us and we'll set you up to figure out what you need and what's going to be your best course of action. Where do contacts come from? They come from a lot of different directions. And what you guys have to understand is when you start a business, you always want to start with the warm market. Why? Because it's easier to get the rocks out of your mouth, stumble over. I'd much rather stumble over words and talk to somebody that I know versus having to go out and, let's say, the cold market and having to get through the learning process. So A, the warm market will get you past the learning curve. B, the warm market is an easy place to ask for, like I said, feedback, constructive criticism. I need your help. Whatever it might be, to get the information so that you are practicing or watching it in motion, other people are seeing it. We understand that if people see the information and hear the information, no matter how they came into watching and hearing the information, they're going to have a percentage of those people that are going to be interested. And if they're not interested, one of the things that we do to try to help you guys out is we try to get referrals. Hey, if you're not interested, but you got value out of this, who else do you know that you think would also get value from this? Most agents underestimate how many people they already know. Now, the exercise says write down. I would start with 3 people. And those 3 people are the 3 people that I could call in an emergency situation I know would help me out. Most people can do more than that, but start with 3 and then expand it to 10. Why? Because you want to get practice in. You want to get repetitions in. You don't just show up at the golf course and you haven't played it in 10 years and expect to shoot par. Doesn't happen like that. You have to build up to it. Same thing with going to the gym, running miles, whatever it may be. If you have never done it or haven't done it in a long time, you need to start by, slowly getting into it and increasing the pace. If you never write down 3, you'll never write down 100. Same thing with going live and doing some of this stuff online. You're not going to get to 10 and 100 and 1,000 until you go through 0. So understand it's a starting process that you have to go through and you have to teach other people. The warm market also comes from recruiting other people, and they open up their warm markets. They're going to need training presentations. They're going to have people in their warm market, business owners, whatever it might be, that we can possibly assist. When you look at source number 2, social media. Now, social media is a great place, but don't miscalculate how you're supposed to use social media. Social media is not about getting the most likes. Social media is about taking a platform like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Alignable, or YouTube and moving it and using it for conversation. So if you get 4 likes on a post, 2 engagements, one of those engagements moves to a DM and one of those moves to a meeting, great, that's awesome. If you get 50 likes, 20 engagements, none of those move to a meeting, I'll take the first over the second outcome, right? So it's not about the most things that you can get. It's about getting people into a place where they are liking, engaging, and then moving them to DMs for the possibility of next action steps, which is discovery calls, education meetings, whatever those things might be. All right, let's keep moving. Source number 3 is referrals. Like I said, if you get good at asking for referrals and networking people for referrals and actually creating a referral network where you're doing stuff for other people, they're doing stuff for you, it can create an enormous ripple effect, a very positive ripple effect. Clients know people, partners know people, business owners know people. If you're into the business owner tax savings program that's proprietary to our platform with the Gold IUL, then you understand most business owners, they know other business owners. Doctors run with doctors, attorneys run with attorneys. So if you hit a vein of people that are in your persona that you can help, just continue down that vein. I guarantee you that if you do not ask for referrals, you will get 0. If you get into the habit of asking referrals in a meaningful way, not who do you know that I can sell to, who do you know that might benefit from the information, the education I provide, things will start to happen. Network, provide value, show interest in other people to build interest in what you're doing, and then find ways to really create a positive referral network for yourself and other people. Happy clients become contact generators. Don't think that after you sell somebody something, the relationship stops. Stay in front of them. When you do follow-ups and when you do policy reviews and things like that, it's a great time to start asking for those referrals. Source number 4 is networking. This is my favorite way to build the business. I'm not talking about necessarily physical groups. They list chamber events, B&I groups, community events, conferences, meetups, but networking can also be online. So if it's offline or online, networking creates contacts if you do it correctly. Follow-up creates opportunity. Just like commitment will get you going, consistency will see you through the end. Networking is not just about meeting somebody. It's in the follow-up. We watched that video of that guy in the real estate. I don't know his name. He sold over $1 billion in real estate. Everybody he meets, he gives them a business card, introduces himself, and then within 7 minutes, He texts them, let's do something great together. That's how he starts the communication. Just meeting people is not enough. Getting them in the CRM and getting back in front of them to figure out how we can build a mutually beneficial relationship that benefits everybody that's involved in this process. That's how you network. That's how you follow up to create the opportunities. And then source number 5 is marketing. This is something that you want to do on a paid version once you understand your business. Once you've gotten the rocks out of your mouth, you understand the follow-up, you understand the systematic approach, you've got everything down pat, you're past the learning curve, then you can throw fuel on the fire. You can also do this organically, through your CRM. You can have landing pages and sites and funnels with lead magnets that go out. And that's the best way to learn is you create something on an organic level, you go out and test it. If it's working on a small level organically, then you understand I can throw money at that, throw fuel on the fire. Webinars, workshops, whatever it is, marketing, direct marketing needs to be short, concise, clear, articulate, and value-based, meaning that you're giving away stuff on the front side that people find valuable enough to enter in their contact information. That's all you want. Once you have that, you have somebody to talk to, a reason to talk to them, and you can move them to next action steps, disqualify them, qualify them, whatever it might be. Marketing job is very simple, just to generate contacts. It's your job to take those contacts, sort them out. Common market, I love this too. Common market is like an extension of the warm market, but you don't really know these people. You might have common affiliations with them, common groups. If you're parents of kids that are in, activities, this is what I'm talking about. Shopping and errands, food and drink, health and wellness, on the go, school and activities, community and fun. This is about having some type of loose affiliation with somebody, using that loose affiliation to introduce yourself by just a little bit of time, and then introduce, what you do, from a mission standpoint or from a referral based standpoint of how you help people in similar situations do X, Y, or Z. Remember, people are absolutely everywhere. Be present, be observant, be helpful. That's what we're talking about. You're not selling, you're serving, trying to help people understand how to get ahead, how to win the money game, how to beat the banks, how to do all these things that we teach. You start conversations, build relationships, and then you over time collect enough contacts where we talk about next week, the communication. If you have enough people in your CRM, you have enough cycles of communication, it's going to be creating calendar appointments, which create contacts or contracts. The common market is huge. Don't overlook it. You never know who you'll meet next. Every person is a possibility. You don't want to think every person is a possibility for rejection. You want to think every person is a possibility for a bridge that could blow your business up in terms of partner growth, client, whatever it might be. When should you add contacts? This is pretty much a rhetorical question. Contact generation is not something that you do sometimes. If you do this stuff sometimes, you have a hobby. A hobby is not going to make you money. Most of the time, hobbies cost you money. And under the IRS guidelines, you can't lose money on a business for 3 consecutive years, or they consider it a hobby. So the wrong answer is, hey, I need some clients. Let me go to my CRM and start putting people in. That's panicked. That's inconsistent. That's harder results. That's called panic management. You just start throwing stuff against the wall to see what will happen before you quit. It's reactive, stressful, and unsustainable. Correct answer is every single day. You're being proactive instead of reactive. You're being consistent. You're getting better results. Proactive, powerful, sustainable. So feed the CRM. It is hungry every single day. Contact generation is not an event. It's a habit. If you become good at this habit, what'll happen is your money will start to grow and your business will start to grow, and your referrals and your reviews and your user-generated contact. One contact today equals a stronger network tomorrow, which means more opportunities always. The daily minimum standards, guys, and the pipeline reality here is you've got to add contacts daily. You got to add contacts weekly. You got to add contacts monthly, and you never, ever, ever stop. The reality is today's contacts, like we talked about, can become next month's appointments. They can become next month's clients. They can become a reliable way to build a full pipeline consistently. The agent who stops adding contacts eventually runs out of opportunities. When you're out of opportunities, you have white space on your calendar. When you have white space on your calendar, you start to drift. Hey, I can't do this. It's a wrong opportunity. This industry sucks, whatever it might be. And then you end up quitting. Quitting becomes a habit. You go to the next thing, quit that as well. You want to push through to the successful side. How do you generate contacts consistently? Remember, contacts are just people to talk to. Well, method 1 is daily conversations. Meet people every day. Start a conversation anywhere, any time. If this is uncomfortable, I'm not the most, extroverted person. Some people are, but you don't have to. It doesn't matter if you're an extrovert, introvert. You can do this stuff because it's just a habit. It's a skill you can pick up. So start a conversation anytime, anywhere. Build real relationships one conversation at a time. And every person that you meet is a potential connection to something, another person, a partner, a client, whatever it might be. So look at people as an opportunity. Method two is create content. Visibility. More people see you. If they see you online and they can see that you're doing things and offering information, education, advice, value-based proposition, it builds trust, rapport, credibility. What that will help you do is not have to do so much of that when you meet the person because it's already been done online. Conversations. Content can start conversation discussions, and then you can move the discussions to DMs and then to calendar appointments. And then conversations turn into connections. So you want to create, share, and connect with people. Remember, it's not about having the most likes. It's about making sure that's connecting with few people, that somebody or multiple people that engage with that post, you drive into DMs, you drive into your CRM for communication. Commenting on other people's posts is oftentimes more powerful than posting. So add value to another person's content. It gets you seen, especially if it's a good comment. And if you're not good at commenting or providing value, use AI to help you. People notice active participants. Visibility builds trust. Trust creates opportunities. Just show up, add value, stand out. There was a Gary V system. It was called like your 3 cents or your 2 cents or something. It's just about going in and adding your comments to people's posts that have something to do with what you're trying to accomplish. Those can be incredibly valuable. Just be active, be seen, be heard online. And then on top of that, be seen, be heard offline, and just understand that conversations can lead to a great amount of things. They oftentimes can lead to nothing, but they can lead to major breakthroughs for your business. And then here's what you want to do. There's 4 more powerful methods here. So we talked about 3. Direct messages, extremely important. Start conversations, not pitches. Conversations create connections. Method 5, referrals. You guys, make sure you understand the power of this and make sure you start to teach other agents the power of this. Ask. Most agents don't. Your ask could be the start of their next move. People love to help. Give them the opportunity to do so. Method 6 is events. Attend, meet, collect information, enter CRM immediately. Get back with them. Hey, we just met 5 minutes ago. Just want to let you know, hey, let's do something great together. Let's see how we can help each other. Stay in front of the people. Just meeting somebody, exchanging a card, or getting contact information is not what we talk about here. It's the whole process of creating the contact, following up, and seeing what you guys can possibly do together, how you can help each other, or what you might be able to do to help them. And then method 7 is lead generation. This is throwing fuel on the fire. You want to learn your business. You don't want to pay to learn and get through mistakes. You want to do that organically. But this is paid marketing, funnels, ads, webinars, landing page. And you don't need 20 funnels. There's people out there creating 7 figures with 1 converting funnel. So you don't need a lot. You just need something that works. Smart systems, steady results is what you're looking for. And then building a contact machine. So top agents don't rely on one source. Like we teach our clients, a one-legged retirement stool is going to fall over. You need multiple legs to stand up. And plus, if you were killing it in this industry and you had one source and that source changes, goes away, whatever happens to it, your whole business crumbles. If you have multiple contact sources, you're okay. You have a diverse kind of buffet of people that you're getting. The goal here, more contacts today, more opportunities tomorrow. So it doesn't matter where they come in. They should just be coming in from multiple sources, and don't value contacts too much. Contacts are just people to put in your CRM, sort out. Eventually, a lot of them will be disqualified. Some will be qualified. Some will lead to revenue, income, and growth. But just understand, it's the process of doing this every single day. More contacts, more conversations, more opportunities. So I got a couple more things I want to go over with you guys. The contact key performance indicators. Those are the KPIs. What are you looking at? What's going to build your business? If your business isn't building, why is it not? Well, new contacts added. These are people that you met for the first time. CRM contacts added. Those people have to go in the CRM. Conversations, and not just random, but meaningful conversations with potential contacts. When you make referral requests, you're asking for referrals consistently. And it's not always at the same time. I like to ask for referrals when value is being recognized. Sometimes in the education, sometimes it's post contract after the policy's already been issued and enforced. We're having a conversation, delivery conversation, whatever that might be. Whatever the right time is, when value is being recognized from the other side, ask for referrals. Social connections added. New connections across social platforms is extremely helpful in filling up those contents. And then lead sources, where your contacts are coming from. You have to measure what matters, improve what you measure. If you measure stuff, you are accountable to that, and you can reflect on that and change what's going wrong and throw fuel on the fire of what's going right, then better numbers equal a better business. And this is really what you guys want to concentrate on. Contact audit exercise. How many contacts did I enter my CRM last week? If it's zero, that doesn't mean that your whole business is blown up. It's just a red flag leading indicator that you continue down that path, you're not going to have a business. How many came from referrals? How many came from social media? How many came from networking? How many came from marketing? If you don't know, that's okay, but start tracking now. Track it, analyze it, improve it, win with it, and then what do? Once you fix yourself, teach other people how to fix themselves, and then you create an asset that you don't have to show up for every day. Remember, the cash flow quadrant, if you have to show up every day and the business can't continue without you, you don't own a business. You're self-employed and you own a job. That's a completely different quadrant than what we're trying to create right here. And I'm going to end with this, guys. The foundation of our business is not built on products. It's not built on presentations. It's not built on commissions. It's built on people, relationships. People become contacts. Contacts become conversations. Contacts become calendar, or conversations become calendar appointments. Calendar appointments can become contracts, partners, clients, whatever you're looking for. Master the 4 C's, and you will, make your business a success. Ignore contacts, and the rest of the 4 C's become extremely difficult. So start with this. We'll move on next week to C2, which is communication. Hope you guys got some value out of this. Don't be afraid to put things on our calendar. Ask for help. If you're having activity and not getting results, we can help you. If you're not having activity, that's the problem. We can't help you with that.